I did a thing. I went and did an impulsive New Year's thing. And I cut bangs on myself just now. So this is the result. I don't know. I just felt like doing it, so I did. And it's interesting because the reading and the message that I had planned for actually yesterday, but then I got delayed and now I'm doing it today, was about motivation returning. And I'd been thinking about doing something with my hair for a long time. It's been just kind of like straight and bland for a couple of years now. And last summer I had considered doing something with it and then I didn't. And now all of a sudden the motivation, the inspiration returned, and it was slightly impulsive, but it was also kind of like I just felt like I needed to do it. I just felt like I needed a change. And yeah, they're not perfect, but that's okay. I don't care. It's my own hair and I'll recut it again and again and I'll get better. So it feels like this is connected to the message. And it's not so much about hair as it is a refreshment of energy. There's a refreshing energy where the motivation steps back in when it wasn't there before. When things seemed to have grinded to a halt, or you were stuck in a rut, or your personal identity was really fixated on one state of being, the motivation returns and the magic, I'm also hearing, okay, good, and the magic right along with it. So, okay, let's pull some cards because I don't have anything that really kind of channeled through other than that. And let's see what comes up. Where do you want me to go, Spirit? Over here somewhere, something. Let's see. It's the mandalas, Nelson Mandela, the Mandela effect. Oh my God. Oh, Mandela effects occur when we switch or jump timelines significantly, like as a collective. And the card that just shot out is Ascended Master Kuan Yin and Pearl, Divine Rebel. This is what this felt like to me, even though it's just hair. It was like I was rebelling against the status quo of what had come before or what had existed as a precedent, even though it was just within my own domain and my own aesthetic. It was that. It felt like a rebellious act, like I just need to change something and I'm going to do it. So I love that this is coming out, and it feels like when that motivation returns and when the action is taken, even if it seems impulsive in the moment, what it's actually doing is shifting to a different timeline. Because there's a new identity, there's a new vibration, and every action has the potential to do that, but this one feels bigger than most somehow. So whatever you're doing or you're called to do, there's a timeline approaching that you can jettison yourself onto and completely shift your reality. You may even be able to see some post-transition changes in terms of like what, because the reality that you were in before is still around you, but you are different and you are, I'm hearing alternating shifts, and it's kind of like going back and forth or switching from one timeline to another. And as you do that, and I'm hearing switching back, it's almost like you're becoming a different version of yourself that already exists in that other timeline. And the rebellious decision or action, the taking of that action, puts you in the position of that other version of you. It's like your consciousness transitions and alters into that state. It shifts into that state where at that point, I think there is still the capacity to go back and forth, but if you choose to stay there, you can. So let's see what that new timeline looks like. Okay, we have descending power. What is this? Master Lao Tzu and Zincite. Actually, Lao Tzu came up last week or the week before. And these are both red. So it's power from the root, from the core, the anchoring and the stabilizing of this new frequency of reality. This new domain that you operate within. And this descending power is where it's coming in and descending into the body, where it's anchoring into the self principle. I'm hearing self principle. Okay. And we have from word to world, goddess Saraswati and Ammonite. From word to world. And I'm hearing it's a whole new world. And that fossil of the Ammonite feels like it's concealing something. Okay, let me see what it's concealing. I feel like I need to get one more. Archangel Gabriel and turquoise, safe to be seen. That came up in the last message that we did. Step into the sun. It's safe to be seen. Something about a hard-won battle is coming through as well, and I'm being shown the planet Mars. A hard-won battle. But I'm still kind of like questioning what is, maybe it's like take your best guess. What is this Ammonite hiding? What is it concealing? Maybe it was you. Maybe you were hiding in the center of the spiral. Or in that fossilized form that never changes. That doesn't really evolve. It stays the same. Yeah. It expands, but it doesn't change. And now it's a time to rebel against that, to take back your power and to step into the unknown of a new identity and seeing yourself and even being seen by others in that new identity. Okay, I'm feeling the coffee cup oracle, so we'll go in with that as well. Move that out of the way. What else do we need to know here in this message? 333 appears twice here. 2 crystal master numbers and crystal goddess number 888 and then crystal angel number 444. Okay, we have stability and growth with the tree. This is what it feels like. It's the stabilization of new growth. Something that the potential has always lain dormant to some degree. And it's in the root. It's in the root chakra. It's connected to that root chakra aspect of self. Maybe it's the sense of belonging. Maybe it's the ability to grow and to evolve. Maybe it's the identity or connected to this sense of self that goes beyond what you believed was possible. But I'm also getting something about, the way that you look at yourself, the way that you see yourself in the world, and what you believe is possible to accomplish, to build, to create, to stabilize, to literally see and experience on a day-to-day basis based on what that previous identity was. Maybe even connected to ways that you were raised, that you were taught to see yourself as a particular thing. Okay. And we have the turtle. Slowness and protection. Turtle's actually been coming out a lot for me last couple of days. I want to say days. Yeah. Slowness and protection. Feels like this growth was very slow. It took a long time. Something about unwinding is coming through. On the bottom we have luck and money. Unwinding what? Unwinding slowly. Something about this inner yarn. Maybe it's a yarn, a tale that you're telling. Unwinding or unraveling that slowly so that you can see what was hidden or what was coiled up inside of this, inside of the ammonite. Like I'm seeing this sort of red ball of yarn on the inside of here, and then it's uncoiling and unfurling, and slowly but surely you're untangling it and pulling it out so that it can be seen, so that it can be measured in some way as well. This could be the red thread of fate. This could be, it feels like something in the root chakra. So this could even be like the Kundalini energy, because I'm seeing rising serpents. So this does feel like it's connected to Kundalini. Okay, I just got pulled over to the energy oracle. Oracle messages in general seem to be significant. I can feel my bangs kind of like tickling my eyes. I need to cut them a bit shorter. Oracle messages. The thinking woman. being able to contemplate on something much more deeply than before, because you have like new parameters, and I keep hearing that word, principles, new parameters that you can open up to or operate with. And then door to value. So there's a connection to money, because the root chakra does have to do with stability of finances, secure, stable sense of value and worth, and home and money and family connections. It's our roots. It's where we feel stable. Money is one of those things. So this is an opening of a door to value that unlocks a lot of financial or other kind of value, prosperity. And it's very stable, and it grows. Now, it might grow slowly over the long term, but the initial spark or the action, that act of rebellion to step into the power, happens quite quickly. But it's kind of like the metaphor that I'm getting is, it's like winning the lottery. That happens very quickly, and then you put it into a savings account, and it accrues interest slowly over time after that. So the initial jolt is big and dramatic, and then the ongoing stability that comes from that is long and slow and stable, because that is what protects the process of that growth. Okay. And you may have been going through a lot of this long process as well, because it seems to repeat. It's like something big happens, but I'm hearing that you were stuck. Okay, so the energy of the group that I'm connecting to, this part of the collective, were stuck in some way. I'm hearing old financial wounds, something about the headspace. So it was like a way of thinking about the self, or a way of thinking about prosperity, or thinking about value, or thinking about security. That's all connected here. And then we have journey. And I just heard Journey, the band. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Yeah. But there seems to be an act of... Yeah, I keep getting this energy of impulsivity, of like, I'm gonna go and do this, or I'm gonna go on a trip, or I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna do this. And it feels, or it may look to other people as if it's impulsive, but it's actually been percolating under the surface for a really long time. So by the time you take the action, the preparation all below the surface energetically has already been done, mentally already been done. All of the planning. It's kind of like when you're gonna build a house, the first step is not breaking ground. The first step is imagining what you want it to look like. And then the second or half, like 1.A step of that would be creating the blueprint. Okay, right. Yes, thank you. So I just looked down at the bottom of the deck, and it's strategy. And I was talking about blueprints, which is like a plan. So having a strategy, this is the part that starts internally. It starts to percolate in the roots below the surface, where it's not physically discernible or seen, and the power descends based on the idea, the thought, and something about that principle, that like the principle of the mind and its creative ability, its capacity to manifest. The initial spark, the initial stages of creation happen purely in the mind and internally, and then everything else follows from that. Now, if we don't act on that, if we don't step into or take that action, if we don't rebel against the status quo, even if we've been thinking or strategizing or planning about it, then the energy kind of goes dormant, and it just sits there. And I feel like I'm seeing like petrified wood. Instead of the growth of the tree and the roots being able to propagate and to blossom and bloom, instead of that, it kind of fossilizes, it gets stuck, it gets stagnant, and it gets very still. But there's always the capacity to break out of that, because I'm seeing somebody encased in stone, and then with one definitive motion, they're able to break out of it and be seen. I'm being shown that. It's like being encased in cement and breaking out of that crust around you and being able to step into the light, to be seen but more importantly, to see yourself in this new light so that this progression takes place over time. And I'm hearing well worth it. So of course, because we have these two money cards, door to value and luck and money, it's very clearly going to be well worth it. It's very clearly going to be well worth it. So take that journey, take that step, take that action. Maybe plan it. Something about the planet I'm being shown. Orbits of the planets. I'm being shown Earth, like the planet Earth. Plan it, and then you shift to like a whole different planet, whole different realm of reality. Love could be part of this as well, because I kind of have been ignoring this message. I've got to admit that. We've got caring connections underneath. And then what was underneath of luck and money was love and new love. And then at some point when I was pulling from whatever other deck I had, I did see one that was, it was from the Coffee Cup Oracle. I saw the Groom card and I just kind of put it back in. So that could be significant as well. It could be in different areas of life where you're seeing this prosperity, both in love and in money, or those two could be somehow connected here. Or there's a plan or there's a strategy for how to step forward in those areas of life. Okay, now I'm being drawn to the wisdom of the Oracle, so we'll get in with that as well. I'm hearing, what else do you need to know? Okay, so I guess I'll just ask that question. What else do you need to know? Something about that ammonite still feels mysterious to me. Okay, so what else do you need to know? And it fell on the ammonite card, exchanging gifts. Okay? Exchanging gifts. It feels like a surprise. It feels like something that you need to see, actually, is coming through. Something that you need to see. Once this action has been taken, it's like surprise, and it comes out of the box. It's connected to that act of rebellion. Pink and purple are coming through as well. The colors or the frequency spectrum of pink and purple. Okay. No, we're putting those back in. Thank you. What else do you need to know? The tribe. And I'm hearing where the tribe resides, root chakra, is connected to and about the tribe. The sense of belonging that we get by being connected to a sense of community. And through this connection, there's safety and protection. Moving in, like, I'm seeing schools of fish and turtles migrating together. And I'm hearing the song from Adventure Time. Oh yeah, Journey. So this is definitely an adventure, an inventure. I almost accidentally said, but I meant to say adventure, an inward adventure, or at least it starts within. The practical things could come more physically from that. But I heard the song from Adventure Time, come along with me to the butterflies and bees. I think we'll get the pocket animal spirit message as well, deep knowing on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, let's get... Oh, this is coming from such a deep place within you. This deep knowing, this instinct, this inspiration. It's coming from deep, deep inside. On the bottom of the deck, we have the dolphin. Can you see it? I don't know why it's blowing it out. There we go, dolphin. And they all swim in pods. I was almost going to use the word pods, but then I was like, no, it's schools of fish and herds of turtles. Maybe herds, I don't know. But, oh, and look, the whales underneath that. These aquatic mammals, aquatic beings that navigate in groups, and it's about community and how this community is so helpful and important, or these connections are helpful and important. communication and being seen within the group seems like it's helpful and important. But the card that actually came out is the elk. Okay, so we need to look at this because I just finished a reading for my other channel today. Important message from the horned god. I'll try to remember to link it below. And the elk has those horns. So let's look at the elk. Okay, the first thing it says is stable. Stable. Stability. Stability. Stability, stability, stability. Stabilizing the new frequency I'm hearing. Anchoring that new frequency. New template. So stable, resilient, headstrong, and the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. Oh, the values. Yeah, door to values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values, being seen as upholding those values, sharing your thoughts, your deep knowing, exchanging of those gifts with the tribe, from word communication to world. Wow. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, it is supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, it becomes pretentious or high and mighty. To bring it into balance, eat and drink more consciously. And I'm seeing the elk, something about rutting season, which I think for them is mating season, or when they like scrape their antlers on the trees or something. But it feels like it's giving me spring energy. I know that I'm filming this in January. We just transitioned through the new year, but it's giving me spring vibes, where like the heat rises and that instinct to mate gets really, really strong and undeniable, or this instinct to change, or whatever it is that we're talking about here, gets really, really strong. This principle of the self becomes unshakable, extremely stable, and powerful. And then from that, so much is able to move and be repositioned in your life. And you could be repositioned as well. Now, I just kind of like went like this with the book, and the earthworm caught my eye. And I was going to just close the book, but then I was like, what is this? And I'm hearing I spy with my little eye. It says shy, hesitant, reluctant to share inner vision. And we're talking about it's being safe to be seen. It's time to share in some way with the tribe, with the collective, with a group of people. They're your family, because it's not like you're running with some weird group of dolphins that you don't belong to. I'm seeing it like this is where you're meant to be. And if you don't feel like you're where you meant to be, then this is what the instinct and the divine rebellion is leading you to. It's your authentic self, because how are you going to find your people if you don't speak your truth? If you don't show who you are? If you hide? How are they going to find you too? How are they going to find you if you're not willing to share what's in your soul? To exchange those gifts. Okay. So it feels like there's a stabilization of inner confidence to be able to just go your own way, do your own thing, be your own person, and that aligns you with the right people in the right places at the right time. This is the timeline shift that's taking place. But first you have to get comfortable with change, changing yourself, changing your circumstances. So if you haven't made any kind of change recently, start planning on how you're going to do that. Start strategizing, start thinking about it, because that's going to set the wheels in motion. That's what's going to begin that process of change. Okay, now I'm being drawn to the Astro Dice, so I think we'll close out the reading. No extended today. We'll keep this one short and concise, just get the message across. But let's take a look at the Astro Dice. Mars, I knew it. Can you see? I don't know if it's not, why it's not focusing. Mars, I had a feeling because I saw Mars clairvoyantly, the red planet. And Aries, oh my God, and Mare, something about Meredith, mariners, all of these sea animals. But yeah, we've got Aries here as well. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So this is like instinct, drive, passion, fertility. Masculine energy seems to be very dominant here, and yang energy is all about action. And I'm hearing taking place, like taking your place. Something about not being upstaged and you being upstage, like up on the stage, metaphorically or literally. And then you've got the 6th house here as well. So Mars in Aries in the 6th house. And 6th house is to do with your daily routine, your habits, your rituals, your daily grind, how you work, who you work with, what you do, housework, career, all of these things are connected to that. Eating habits were mentioned by the elk as well, and 6th house does connect to that. This feels like the motivation to start a new exercise routine. I meant to say routine. But it's like it's a team effort in some way, so it doesn't need to be done alone. Maybe you need to, hearing the word cohabit, but I was going to say maybe you need to like body double with somebody. And when you do it together, or when you have this shared, I'm hearing shared accommodation. Okay, that's coming through. Working together and willing to thrive, I'm hearing. And what I was trying to say was like maybe in having this common goal, there's accountability, there's mutual support, there's a reignition of, or the sustaining long-term, the stabilizing of this, I'm hearing mature approach. But again, I'm trying to say something else. It just kind of keeps coming through channeling. But this inspiration, it's like it starts out as a wild spark, but what you do with that determines how long it can stretch out for. If you keep adding fuel and logs and things like that to the fire, and maybe you get tired at some point, somebody else brings the log in, and then you help them when theirs is low, it keeps it going. It keeps it going for the long haul. So this exchange of energy, this exchange of motivation, this inspiration and re-inspiration really allows you to navigate life in new ways with gusto, with enthusiasm, and with a sense of stability that to me, in this moment, feels really strongly like home. Feels like safety. And that is inspiring. That is creative. Because when we're safe, we can start to think of more and better and do cool things with that energy. So I just got drawn to, my eye line was fixed on the key in the lock. It's like you've got that key of inspiration. Go ahead, unlock the door. Maybe people are saying, no, don't go through that door. But if your soul is telling you one thing, listen, just go through the door. You'll find your way on the other side of it, and you'll find your people too. So it will definitely be well worth it. Well worth it. There's wealth on the other side of it, because it is the door to value. All right, that's the message, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence in this particular tribe and allowing me to exchange these gifts with you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.